back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Shh. Today it's gonna be a quiet stream because I'm very curious if it's possible to play this game and be quiet at the same time. See if it changes the atmosphere of the game at all. I'm gonna play, okay, a medium map. See if we get there. Buy an item. Buy diable. And spirit box response, which we tend to never get.
There are others out there in need of help.
Might have to crank down the game volume, my headset a little bit, in order to be quiet. The thing is, I don't know if you can hear me if I'm this quiet. Should I move the microphone a little bit closer? I don't want the keyboard to make too much noise though. Let's see if this works. I'll just have to tap the keys very carefully, something which I'm very bad at doing. Because I'm a bit tense when it comes to things. It's not even that I'm tense, I'm just a bit forceful, I suppose. I've always been when it comes to anything. Like writing, or typing, or drawing. I just put too much force on my hands whenever I do anything. Not a good thing. Let's start with something small. Professional. Gotta add my stuff though. I wonder how weird a stream sounds when you're intentionally being quiet. But it might also be a fun thing. Also, the quality of the stream might be a little bit lower today because my connection is a little bit wonky. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hop over here and make sure it's actually working. Yes, it is. It is excellent. Always takes a little while to load into the game. I'm gonna stretch over here and try to grab my water bottle without making too much noise because my chair is very squeaky. There we go. Got water today instead of soda. Because I've been drinking so much soda lately. I like to cut down, but I'm a little bit addicted, to be honest. Loading is taking quite a while.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
So we're hunting Mary Moore.
Check the whiteboard for help.
You have to get the ghost to walk through salt, prevent the hunt with a crucifix, and find evidence of paranormal EMF reader. I'm gonna look back at this stream and I'm gonna be like, what was I thinking? Why did I think doing a semi-whispering Phasmophobia stream was a good idea? Hey, sometimes you gotta try the weird things. Because every now and then you might discover something great. So Mary Moore is gonna be somewhere in this house and we are going to find her. We are not your average run-to-the-mill ghost hunter, no, no, no. We're here to help the ghost. We're gonna help them find peace and cross over to the afterlife. So if you would be so kind, Mary Moore, would you give us a sign? Mary Moore, please give us a sign so we can help you. In fact, going around saying I'm going to help someone sounds a little bit creepy, so I understand if you don't trust me. You don't want to give me a sign. But just take your time, Mary Moore. In due time, I think you will understand that I'm simply here to help. It must be difficult being stuck in a house all by yourself in an incorporeal form. No one to talk to. No one to hang out with, to play video games with, or watch a movie. I know what it's like, Mary Moore. Do be like that sometimes. We got a reading here. But maybe Mary Moore is present in this room. Let's ask a couple of questions. Mary Moore, where are you? Where are you, Mary Moore? Are you friendly? How old are you? Seems to be no response on the spirit box, so we will simply put it down somewhere that we will be able to find it again. How about in one of these boxes? I missed the box. Because sometimes accidents happen. Now I feel like I'm trying to rip off Bob Ross, even though... I'm right? Bob Ross? The painter? What's the name of the painter? I haven't actually seen any Bob Ross stuff. I think I've accidentally clicked onto it a couple of times when there's like a yearly stream or something. But I've never properly sat down and watched it. And the reason for that is very simple. I am not a patient person. I probably should be. I probably should try a little bit to be a bit more patient when it comes to different things, but I like to consume entertainment, and I like to consume it in large amounts in quick bursts. Which is a fairly large contrast to what I'm trying to do today. So we found evidence with the EMF reader. I'm going to bring the book and the camera, and we can see if we find some ghost orbs. Also, my microphone is set to a left-right sensitive setting, so that depending on which side of the microphone I'm on, it changes where the sound plays, which is probably kind of strange, because it's kind of like a cheap rip-off of an ASMR microphone. And I didn't specifically turn on that setting for the stream. I was messing around the other day, and I decided to keep it for the stream, kind of just to emphasize the weird meme I'm going for here. It's not even a meme. I can hear you, Mary Moore. Hello. Nice to see you. I saw freezing temperatures. That gives us a slight indication of what we're dealing with. There's also freezing temperatures in here, so I'm not quite certain which room we should be looking out for. There is the possibility that the entirety of the basement counts as one single room. I do believe that possibility is quite high. Let us step back into the van for a moment and see if our sanity has dropped down. Because when your sanity drops too low, the ghost might find it difficult to resist the urge to start a hunt. We don't want the ghost to start a hunt because it's going to cause the ghost just as much suffering as it's going to cause us. We will take some sanity pills and we will open our evidence book and we will put in freezing temperatures. Moving on, we will grab the dots and the UV flashlights. We can look for dots, projections, and fingerprints. So we got fingerprints on this light switch right here. So we shouldn't be needing the UV light much more. As for the dots, I'm going to go ahead and place it right here. The book, we can move it over here. EMF reader will move as well. Put it right there. Now that that's settled, we can step back outside, input the evidence we found because we discovered fingerprints, and grab the camera, both to take a picture of the fingerprints we found, and also for the opportunity to take a picture of the ghost if it appears again. As taking a picture of the ghost is helpful towards helping the ghost to cross over to the afterlife. So we got fingerprints, meaning the ghost is either a jinn, demon, or hantu. So a hantu doesn't like the cold and will be more aggressive if it is cold. Last piece of evidence would be ghost orbs. My short-term memory is not very good, so I will have to check once more. Jinn or demon? So a jinn would have EMF 5, and a demon would have ghost writing. So we're looking for EMF 5, ghost writing, or What was the last one again? Just check once more. Ghost orbs. TarkoRehin, ghost orbs, or EMF5. Let's bring the camera. Check the sanity. Bring the crucifix. So now we've narrowed it down to 3 pieces of evidence. This is where the investigation gets interesting. Not going to call it a hunt, because we're not hunting the ghost. The ghost is not prey or a victim here. It's simply a client that we need to help. So we're checking for ghost orbs. It's a good idea to look through the camera every now and then. Check numerous angles and corners, because it might be difficult to pinpoint exactly where in a room the ghost orbs are. So not having found any ghost orbs, there is a likeliness that the evidence we're looking for is something else. So, with EMF and camera in hand, we should urge the ghost to give us a sign. Now we got EMF 5. Thank you very much, Mary Moore. Mary Moore, would you like to stop by for a photo before I head off? Mary Moore, would you do us the kind honor of showing yourself? Thank you very much, Mary Moore. I truly appreciate the cooperation. We have the evidence. We can be on our way. There are bonus objectives to achieve here, but it is more important that this ghost gets the help it needs as soon as possible, rather than us earning a few extra dollars on the job. I don't think there's much harm in us placing a little bit of salt. Let us confirm once more. Because we got EMF 5. I mean, this is a demon. No, it's a djinn. So a djinn is not going to be harmed by the salt. There are some ghosts that don't like salt, and we don't want to be rude to the ghost because we're trying to help them, not harm them. So we're going to place some of the salt around in the basement. Mary Moore. Did you do us the favor of stepping in the salt? And you did. Thank you very much, Mary Moore. I will be on my way. I'm not going to linger around simply for you to break the crucifix. That doesn't seem quite right. It's going to take a while, and it's not going to be an enjoyable experience for either of us. So ensuring that I've gotten all the evidence I want, I'm going to pack up the van, and we're going to find the next ghost to help. Take a sip of water, because it's important to stay hydrated.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
Well, neither of these maps are medium. The asylum is large. And if I were to do a medium map, I would prefer to limit it to the prison, simply because I'm taking it easy like I am now. I think I would prefer not to take too large of a map. We're going to go with the small one. Bring our usual items. Ready up and enter the map. I have a feeling that this voice sounds extremely sarcastic and not pleasant at all. It's not my intent. I'm very bad at whispering. And I guess a part of the reason why I want to try doing this is I want to see if I can keep whispering for an extended period of time and not accidentally break into a loud voice.
Alright, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation. I've also written some notes on the whiteboard if you need them.
But maybe I should try to whisper without over-exaggerating the way I'm speaking and not being too hard into the role of being some kind of strange character. So maybe I should just whisper like this. We've done one map with the weird, very altruistic Bob Ross style of talking. Let's do something a bit more normal this time. going to continue whispering though. I'm just not gonna do a strange voice. I'm just gonna talk normally, as best as I can. Thing is, when I'm wearing a headset, it's kind of hard to know exactly where the line between whispering and talking normally is. And I'm not very good at whispering in the first place. We're looking for George Williams. For George Williams, and we need to cleanse the area near the ghost, get him to blow out a candle, and possibly escape a hunt. If possible, I'd like to not have to do the last one, because sitting around waiting for a hunt is sometimes tedious and adds a lot of unnecessary risk. Payoff isn't very great. But if it happens, you might as well give it a shot. This is a fairly small house, meaning it's hard to gain distance from the ghost, but it has a couple of good lockers to hide in. I think my favorite locker to hide in is the one in the boys' bedroom. I'm going to do a quick check and see if there is a locker in the garage. If there is, that would mean there is a good hiding spot on both ends of the house. Strangely enough, the box is already on. That is unusual. Did I see freezing temperatures? Probably not. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? I already forgot the name of the ghost because, one, I wasn't paying a lot of attention to the name, and two, I have terrible short-term memory. Let us go back to the van, check the ghost name once more, and confirm there is no timer, because if there is a timer, that means we're on either intermediate or normal, depending on what the timer is. There is a timer, so I suppose I'm on intermediate because the timer is short. George Williams was the name. I'm almost still doing the voice, it's not intentional. It's simply because whispering is difficult. Because sometimes when I try to whisper, I lean too hard into the whisper and it becomes kind of like whistling sound, and it's not very pleasant. I'm trying to whisper without doing that now. So, George, you want to give us a sign? George? Give us a sign, George. George, give us a sign. Give us a sign, George. I always feel like there's supposed to be another plate here, but there isn't. George, give us a sign. George, are you present? Give us a sign. Give us a sign, George. I'm very tempted to go around saying a Pirish to Kudasai, because I've been listening too much to people playing Phasmophobia in Japanese. But it doesn't work when I say it because I don't have a Japanese voice pack on my computer. Because if I did, I'd very much like to just try to play every now and then with only Japanese prompts. And simply doing the commentary in Japanese as well, although that would be a big mess because my knowledge is very limited. But that's a part of the fun, isn't it? George, give us a sign. Give us a sign, George. Supposedly, whispering will actually reduce the likeliness of the ghost hearing you, especially during hunts. Problem for me is that I have a lot of background noise, just filtered out for the most part by my stream settings, but for the sake of Phasmophobia, the background noise is not filtered out, meaning it's very hard for me to avoid hunts unless I mute my microphone first. So we found an EMF reading. We don't know if it's the right area, but I will get the camera just in case. I really like bringing the camera now because you can actively check for ghost orbs while being in the house. Should have done this though. George, give us a sign. Where are you? Are you friendly? How old are you? There's a 3 on the EMF reader. I've said this many times before, but I will re-emphasize that I really enjoy this night vision camera. For a second I thought I saw someone here. I saw the shoes, and then I saw like this picture frame, which looked like the top of a body, maybe like a sleeve of a shirt or something, and then the lamp in the background looked like a head. But we don't know for certain if it's actually in the hallway. It might be somewhere near the hallway. We should check some of these rooms. Maybe ask some more questions. Where are you? Where are you, George? No response? George, where are you? I thought I saw a ghost door, but it's simply a strange shimmer on the side of this wardrobe. Right, not having a lot of luck. I'm not even sure we found the right spots, but let's bring in some different equipment nonetheless. Maybe do a little double check to see if my sanity's gone down by much. Okay, we have hit 80. Let's just get the UV lights. Check for some fingerprints. Might help us narrow things down if the ghost has touched anything. The stream connection is surprisingly holding, which I did not expect. I mean, I did turn the settings down a bit in hopes of reducing the lag, but I didn't expect to not have a single drop frame. So perhaps after streaming for a bit, I might take a break and try to stream in the morning. Simply because I'd like to stream more, but part of the reason why I'm being quiet right now is because I don't want to cause a disturbance in the middle of the night. I can probably be louder than this without issues, but I kind of decided that, you know, for the sake of reducing disturbances, I could also just use that as an excuse to try out whispering during the stream. Thing is, I don't think my audio quality is very well suited for whispering, because even when I whisper, there will be unwanted sounds that my microphone is unable to filter out when I'm close enough to the microphone to actually whisper. I'm not having a lot of luck here. I'll just place the book down, the dots down. Let's drop the UV light for now. Pick up the EMF, pick up the camera again. Go get the flashlight once more, and we'll wander the house a bit more, asking for a sign. Maybe take some pills first, I'm not certain. So it's 74. I feel like I've had ghosts hunt very early recently. Typically at the 60 range. Let's use the full ghost name, because I've just been saying George. George Williams. Give us a sign. Give us a sign, George Williams. I mean, I'm getting EMF readings in this area. Did I hear some footsteps just now? George Williams. Give us a sign. But if the ghost is in the hallway, we could check for things such as paintings on the wall being knocked over, or something like that. There's also a small chance that what we're hearing is simply the EMF reading through the wall to one of the rooms nearby. I'm not quite sure how the EMF handles the range from the actual activity it's detecting. It can go through walls. George Williams, give us a sign. I don't remember if I was the one that left this door open or not. Let's have a quick look for ghost orbs. I think there's a high probability we will get hunted here and I will not be able to hide myself properly. But I'm not too concerned about it. If I can continue hunting for a little bit longer, I will go back to the van and take some pills, just in case. But I want to close these doors, because I've left every single door open. That makes it difficult to understand where the ghost has been. Let's close all the doors. Now, every single door should be closed, except this one has been touched. And this one has been touched. And he's walking towards us. Which I'm not too concerned about, because that is helpful for us. And I'm almost going back to the Bob Ross thing again, I'm sorry. I feel bad about calling it a Bob Ross thing when I don't even know what Bob Ross is like. Okay, so he's either in the boys' room or he's in the bathroom, most likely. So, let's bring the equipment once more. Check the room specifically, check for ghost orbs, check for ghost responses, and move the place equipment into the rec rooms. Alright, so let's have a look. No immediate sign. The room is a bit small, kind of hard to see if there's anything in here. Although it wouldn't make sense if it's maybe this room, simply because it's so close to this. We do have a reading in this room, and they have touched this. Also a reading here, interesting. What would you call this? Would you also call this a wardrobe, a walk-in closet? I'm not entirely certain. Alright, so let's try the spirit box. Where are you? No response. Let's try it here. Where are you? Where are you? No response. Again. Let's move the writing book into this room. I'm gonna do something that's a little bit unconventional in a second here. That's a 2. They have flipped this object. I think it's more likely to be the bathroom. Here, did he touch me? Did he touch the demon inside of me? I got distracted. Get this object, put it in here. We're being very active now. Despite that, we don't have any fingerprints on these doors. I would say we take a chance and we move the book back into the bathroom. And then I would say we step into the car and we get the camera. Because there's a good chance he'll appear again and we can get a photo. Lost sanity very fast this time. You know what? I'm not too concerned about running out of pills. I will take one early and bring the crucifix while we're at it. It'll be good for me to compare the first part of the stream to the second part of the stream and see if either of the whispering levels are more, well, is better than the other, I suppose. Let us move the camera so that it can record the room, because sometimes there is a ghost. It's either the Goryeo or the Myoing. I think it's the Goryeo. You can only see the dots projector through a camera. George Williams, give us a sign. Give us a sign, George. Freezing temperatures. EMF 2. George Williams. Oh, we got ghost writing. George Williams, give us a sign. Give us a sign, George. I'm gonna walk a little bit back and forth to try to see the breath if it's freezing temperatures. George Williams, I think I saw it. George Williams, give us a sign. Yep, I definitely saw it. Alright, let's put the evidence in the book. We get a vague idea of what we're dealing with. So, We have writing, increasing temperatures, revenant, shade, or demon. Revenant, shade, or demon. Alright. Revenant, shade, or demon. So a demon would be fingerprints. Shade would be EMF 5, and Revenant would be Ghost Orbs. Okay, Revenant, Shade, or Demon, you say? So... still on EMF 5. Pick up the camera and look for Ghost Orbs. It shouldn't be dots no matter what, so we can move the dots. Turn it off, essentially. The camera once more. I won't guarantee that this is the room. Don't have the camera, good. And if it is the room, it might be more helpful to look into it from the hallway. Yeah, I see Ghost Orbs. Okay, so we've got Ghost Orbs. It means we've got the culprits. The culprit is... a Revenant. When I'm whispering, it's like the stream is progressing so much slower. I feel like I've been streaming already for an hour and it's been 31 minutes. Kinda strange. But maybe I'm being more focused as well, because I'm also having more luck in finding the ghosts. It could also be luck. Just blind luck. Just, let's get the candle. We'll do this trick where we pick up the candle and the lighter, and we'll light the candle right away, drop the lighter, and pick up the camera again. Simply because if the ghost appears, I want a photo. Ah, I was too slow. I scrolled the wrong way. That's my bad. Wasn't certain which way to scroll for the camera. George Williams, give us a sign. George Williams, give us a sign. I also made a mistake of not checking my sanity, and considering how much that ghost is touching the doors, that might be a bad thing. Alright, let's see. Can we try to smudge? It can be risky sometimes. So it specifically says, cleanse the area near the ghost. And cleansing the ghost room isn't always good enough, because it's where the ghost is presently, not necessarily in the room. If it's a ghost that wanders a lot, you might actually miss the ghost by just cleansing the room itself. Which is unfortunate, but this house is very small, so we shouldn't be too unlucky with this. The thing is, they made the duration of the smudge stick very short now, so you can't roam as much before it burns out. And I'd like to be quick and go back in the van right away so I can get the camera again, because I couldn't carry the camera with the smudge, because I can't do the same trick as I did with the candle by lighting ahead of time. We got this smudge. I'm not going to try to escape during a hunt. We got the evidence. There's not a bonus for taking a photo, so I guess we can leave. Yep, let's leave. Surprisingly enough, that took a while.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, very low pay because I apparently picked the wrong difficulty. Right, any more good jobs? Ooh, Willow Street House is always interesting. I do like this map quite a bit, even though it doesn't have any hiding spots, which is a bit spooky. But it has a very different aesthetic from the other houses. Be careful in the dark, the ghost can sense you. And I don't know why it tells you this, because it doesn't really seem to be true. Because hiding in the dark doesn't mean that the ghost automatically finds you during hunts. This makes it kind of sound like it, because it sounds like the ghost automatically knows where you are. And it doesn't, because in fact you're encouraged to turn the flashlight off when hiding, because they can sense the electricity. Let's get the flashlights, EMF, spirit box.
Nothing to report, but it looks like whoever
John
was here
Thompson.
left in a
Alright,
hurry.
John Thompson. Without further ado, we will enter. Worry about the secondary objectives afterwards. John Thompson. John Thompson, give us a sign. Give us a sign, John Thompson. John Thompson, where are you? I heard a spooky noise in real life. That's kind of spooky, considering it's close to midnight. After midnight. It's probably after midnight by now. John Thompson. I mean, not everyone is sleeping at this time. The bunch in my house is a strange bunch, me included. It's pretty much someone awake at any hour a day. John Thompson, give us a sign. John Thompson. Give us a sign. Give us a sign, John Thompson. John Thompson, give us a sign. John Thompson. Give us a sign. Close this back up just in case. Should also do a little walk around the living room. John Thompson, give us a sign. John Thompson. Oh, I'm hearing a lot of creaking, but I think that's just ambience. Oh, hello. You're very spooky looking. I don't think that's a ghost type I see very often. Let's put the EMF reader here, ask some questions. John Thompson, where are you? Where are you? John Thompson. Are you friendly? How old are you? No response. Let's get some different equipment. This stream is a good example of how getting spooked is a state of mind. In a sense, that sounds very that sounds very stupid. What I mean is, if you immerse yourself in the idea that a game is scary, it's easier to get scared. And if you are of the opinion that the game isn't scary, then you're also less likely to get spooked by anything. It's not a failsafe by any means. You can still get spooked even though you don't find the game spooky, because sometimes something will catch you off guard. And vice versa, even if you find a game scary, you might not actually be spooked by things that happen in it. Let's bring this. Did I drop the flashlight like a clever person? Did I actually? Whoa, I didn't notice. And the fact that being spooked is kind of like a state of mind can make it seem like you're overreacting when you're getting spooked by things. And that's not actually the case. It's more so that you're immersed in the game at that given time because you let yourself be immersed, and therefore you get scared more easily. The same goes for a lot of things in games. It doesn't have to be necessarily being spooked. It goes for any type of, well, a lot of emotions, especially excitable ones. So if you immerse yourself in the idea that something is very exciting and fun, then you might be a lot more energetic. And some people take that as a sign that you're faking your energy, but that's not true. That's not true at all. At least I don't find that to be the case. Like, I've watched a lot of watched a lot of YouTubers that appear to be very excited, and people call them out for faking excitement. And there might be some that do that, but I don't think that's the case for all of them. Even if they sound more excited than what you would normally expect would be, well, normal, it might just be that they're immersing themselves so much in what they're doing that their reactions are very... It's a good word. I don't have a really good word for it. I mean, we could just call the reactions over-exaggerated, even if they're not false. Being over-exaggerated does not mean being fake. Not the same thing. It's simply that... How to explain this in a way that makes a lot of sense? It's kind of the same thing if you're at a loud location, right? Because you cannot hear other people very well, and you can't hear yourself very well, you end up shouting, right? If you're immersing yourself on an excitement, then you will also be more excited and loud in the way you're responding because you've immersed yourself in that feeling. But make no mistake, it's not because you're faking excitement, it's because you are genuinely excited because you let yourself be excited. Does that make sense? So I feel bad when people get called out for faking excitement when they're actually excited. They just got very immersed at the time. Being able to immerse yourself in something like a video game to the point where you sound very over-exaggerated, it's a fantastic thing. It feels really nice having that level of immersion. So it's not something you should reprimand people for. It's something you should applaud people for being able to do. And that is not just for video games. That goes for anything, really. I mean, you can say that their level of excitement or their way of displaying excitement isn't appealing to you because you find it to be a bit loud or over the top. That's fine. It's just not your cup of tea, and then there's no problem with that. It's not my cup of tea either, most of the time. But reprimanding people for having a good time in a video doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Right? You just find someone who produces the content that you enjoy. A lot of meta commentary. Got distracted. I don't know why I started talking about that. Doesn't have very much about anything but what I'm doing right now to do. That was a bad sentence. Those words were so jumbled up. I guess it's because I was talking about not getting scared as easily because I'm not really immersing myself in the idea that this is a spooky game. I'm also not finding a lot of evidence. Which is probably why I'm getting distracted. Did I not bring the UV light yet? I was looking over the van for stuff I didn't bring yet, and I thought I didn't see anything, but that's not how you place the book anymore. Wait, this door is open. Maybe they're actually in this room. See if they knocked anything over. Is this something that can be knocked over? Perhaps. And this. If that's the case, let's move the equipment into this room instead. I'm a bit concerned for my sanity level, because I don't remember what it was, because I've been very distracted for the last 10 minutes, talking about some somewhat unrelated topic, and it's not entirely unrelated because, well, I'm streaming. That is bad news. I'm going to mute myself. Well, I did say that was bad news, but it worked out. Usually I like hiding in the very back of the garage, but in my experience that doesn't work very well. The ghost tends to check there, and then I don't have a chance to run away. Instead, I've started to hide behind an object that I can loop around if the ghost does see me, and I just peek around the corner to make sure the ghost hunts me the way that I want to, so I can avoid it more easily. But in this map where there's no hiding spots, I tend to try to find specific places that are good for looping the ghost instead of actually hiding. Especially now that I have a sprint function. When the sprint function wasn't here and they sped up the ghosts, there were times where it was a little bit difficult. Not too bad, actually. It usually works fine. So, am I holding the UV lights? Because it's not on this table, and I have not been paying attention, which is entirely my fault, but still, it's a little bit frustrating. Oh, it's right here. Sometimes I go off in tangents, talking about things I probably feel like I'm not in no position to talk about. It's something I want to talk about in the future, but you know, I've already thought about it, so it's tempting to talk about it prematurely. No fingerprints. This door is untouched. Let's turn on the fuse box. We can turn on some lights in the house, because you can turn on most of the lights in this house, and that's something I should have done early on. A good way to save some sanity. Let's bring the spirit box into the room. What was his name again? John something? I don't quite remember. Where are you? Where are you?
I'm close.
He's close. Now we finally got the spirit box response, which is excellent, and I can't turn the spirit box off while holding it anymore. There is something I am curious about, though. Since it says now that the ghost kinda senses where you are if you're holding electricity, does that mean you could put a bunch of electricity in a room and turn it on before leaving it there to maybe bait the ghost into the wrong room? Or does it only work if a player is holding the item? Okay, so where have I put the video camera? That kind of spooked me. What was that sound? That wasn't very pleasant. As I said, things will occasionally spook you even if you're not immersed in the spookiness. Because currently I'm immersed in just talking about things. And chilling. With my whispering. If I was whispering in the sense, like, if I was whispering with the idea in my head that I'm whispering to avoid attention, it might be more spooky. I was intentionally whispering because I was trying not to be heard by the ghosts. That's not why I'm whispering. I'm just whispering because I'm trying it out. Should do that sometime. Play Phasmo whisper, but whisper in a sense that I'm like immersing myself in the idea that this ghost is gonna hear me and kill me if I make any noise. Well, it does do that. It does hear you and kill you if you make any noise, but sadly, as I said before, my background noise makes it so that it's the background noise that kills me, not my actual voice. I have to mute myself during hunts, which I would very much prefer not to have to do. I mean, I can turn off the fans and reduce the background noise, which is what I do sometimes, but I've had this game overheat my computer before, so it's like a bit of a risk. Okay, I should place the camera so that it can see the dots. I'm not sure what's the best way to do that. Is this camera the right way? I think it is. This hammer. Oh, we got ghost writing. It's so hard to see sometimes now. Okay, is that our first or second piece of evidence? Let me go back and review my book real quick. And I think this will be my last map, simply because I don't know how this is going to turn out, the whole whispering deal. I have to go review the stream and see if it's excessively annoying. Oh, not to mention I'm trying to drop a couple of frames. So maybe a good time to prepare to end. But first, let us finish this hunt. Yeah, we got Spirit Box. Yeah, that's why I wanted to review the book, because I felt like I would remember something if I reviewed it. Spirit, Poltergeist, Mare. Okay. It would be a Mare, because I feel like I turned off the juice box at one point, but not really, what is the word? Indicative? I don't know. Let's see, Mare would be Ghost Orbs. What's the two other ones? Spirit, Poltergeist, Mare. Okay, Spirit, Poltergeist, Mare. Spirit, Poltergeist, Mare. Poltergeist is fingerprints, and Spirit is EMF 5. So EMF 5, fingerprints, or orbs. EMF 5, fingerprints, or ghost orbs. Okay. It's repeated a couple times because my short-term memory is really bad. Spirit, no. See, already fucking it up. EMF 5, fingerprints, ghost orbs. EMF 5, fingerprints, ghost orbs. EMF 5, fingerprints, ghost orbs. Poltergeist, Spirit, Mare? Was that it? Not that it matters, we'll find that part out once we've checked the doors a couple of times. I have a hunch it isn't fingerprints because we've checked the doors multiple times and they have definitely touched the doors. Well, you moved the book. That doesn't really help me much because, well, I know you've written in it. It's not gonna be dots. That is EMF 3. Okay, let's figure out where I put the camera. Ghost orbs. Okay, got it. We will do some bonus objectives. Considering this is the last map I'm doing, and I haven't dropped too many frames. I've dropped 0.1%. But even if the percentage is long, if it goes like a lot of frames in a short span of time, then it's still not good for the stream. So looking at the percentage isn't always good enough. You say you've streamed for 5 hours in one go, and suddenly you drop 2% of your frames in the last 3 minutes. Like 2% of the entire stream's frames in the last 2 minutes. That's gonna be a lot of frames dropped in those 2 minutes. Not gonna look good at all. At this just in case. What are we doing? We're doing candle. Yeah, we're not doing this much during chase, even though we've already been chased. Let's just do the candle then. Guess I'll keep the camera just in case he shows up once more. I can get a nice photo, because I like taking photos of the ghost. And I need to sneeze, which is really bad, because I'm trying to be quiet. Excuse me. Not that I have to be quiet, though. It's that, since I'm already being quiet, people listen with their volume way up, and I sneeze really loud. I would feel very bad. I don't want to blow up anyone's ears. So, candle. You want to blow out this candle? You want to show yourself? Give us a sign? I don't know what my sanity is, actually. I didn't get it in time. Give us a sign. Actually, don't give us a sign because my sanity might be very low and I don't want it in your hands. That is a model I don't see very often, though. It's like a random, skinny, naked guy. Kinda creepy, but also kinda generic. My favorite ghost is probably the one in the EJs that crawls. Kinda like a grudge thing. The spookiest ghost, though, in my opinion, is probably the faceless kid, which also crawls. The crawly ones are the kind of the best ones, but the faceless kid is just like, it's kind of morbid as well, so that's why I'm not a big fan of it, but it makes it the creepiest ghost. We got the ghost to blow out the candle, and we put in the evidence, so let us be on our merry way. And I will go review the stream and see if this was a terrible idea, or if it's somewhat bearable. Did I complete my main menu objectives, though? I didn't complete the medium map. I didn't buy any items because I didn't die. 219, but I did manage to speak to a spirit. Goes through the spirit box. That's something. How much money do I have? 8,000. Alright, that's fair enough. It'll be cool if you can buy stuff for this area. Spend some of your money to get a nicer place. Give you some money to blow on not useful things. I mean, once we get the upgrade system for equipment, that's probably something you can invest a decent amount of money in. I'm curious if they're gonna do something about the money that we've earned so far, though, because some people have a lot of money. Are they gonna reset that, or am I gonna be allowed to keep my 8,000? Maybe I should just turn all my 8,000 into items, into stocks, invest into the item markets. That's it for me for now. I might stream more later. I'd like to, but usually whenever I tell myself that I'll stream more later, don't find the time to, which kind of sucks. But oh well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.